Goodness me, how many of you are there? This is tremendous. My name's Stunt, and I'm the founder and chief executive of Pancreatic Cancer Action. There's a reason why I founded it, because in 2007, nearly 7.5 years ago, at the age of 41, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now, I hadn't heard of pancreatic cancer before my own diagnosis, and I didn't know anything about it, and I certainly didn't know about the statistics. But what I thought I knew was that things had really improved in the cancer world and that things would probably be okay. Well, for me, as you can see, things are okay, but that's because I was diagnosed in time to have surgery, but I was only just. I was going for my operation, which I thought was quite routine. And it was only the night before that I discovered that my surgeon was going to do an exploratory operation before the main procedure, which would take 5 hours, to see if they could still operate. And at that point, I hadn't actually questioned the thought that there would be any possibility of not being operated on. I knew only when I woke up in the recovery room, apart from the fact that Pluto and Daffy Duck were on the ceiling and I thought I was in the paediatric ward, I actually thought I knew I'd had the full operation because I'd gone down at 8 o'clock in the morning and I was waking up at 1:30. Now, the difference between having an operation for pancreatic cancer or not is the difference between living or not. At the moment, there's no other cure. And I didn't actually appreciate what thin ice I was actually on. I didn't know at the time that pancreatic cancer has only a 3% survival rate to 5 years. So I didn't know whether I'd be making Christmas, let alone that 5 years, because 3% seemed quite tiny to me. However, if we do get people diagnosed in time for surgery, their chance of surviving 5 years increases tenfold. And that's what we're all about here at Pancreatic Cancer Action. I want more people to have the same outcome that I've had following a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. Currently, 80% of patients are diagnosed when their cancer is at a stage where it's already moved into other organs in the body. It cannot be operated on then, and treatment is usually fairly futile, and the average life expectancy is about 4 to 6 months. Now, this 3% 5-year survival rate, it's shocking in itself. It's tragic that in 40 years, in just over my lifetime, maybe a little bit more, has not improved at all. Whereas we've seen significant improvements in survival rates for breast cancer, for colorectal cancer, for prostate cancer, which is fabulous news for those people who are diagnosed with those diseases. And there is still work that needs to be done in many of those cancers as well. But for pancreatic cancer, it's the 5th common cause of cancer death in the UK, yet it receives less than 1% of cancer research funding. In 2013, that totalled £5.4 million. Now, anyone who's in control of budgets knows that £5.4 million doesn't go very far. With Pancreatic Cancer Action, I really wanted to make sure that more people survive through earlier diagnosis. And one of the things that we do is we educate GPs. We've written 2 e-learning modules for GPs and also for hospital doctors. We do GP seminars. We have done an award-winning advertising campaign, some of you may have seen it last year, to raise the profile of pancreatic cancer. And we're also funding research into early diagnosis. If all of you today here, I think there are about 800 people, which is staggering. If you all donated £25 tonight, then that will enable us to fund seminars for over 1,000 doctors that we can make them more aware of the signs and symptoms of pancreatic cancer. Alternatively, it can afford a researcher on one of our early diagnosis research projects. I never got to know Gavin, and I wish I had, because I watched the YouTube video and he sounded and looked like a really lovely chap. And you know, this disease is cruel, and sometimes it takes the best people, and that's not fair. Thank you, everybody, for coming here tonight and supporting GavAid, for some of you for a 2nd year running, and for those of you newly this year, again, a big thank you. If anybody wants to find out more about the organisation, we've got a stand at the back, and any of us in our glamorous t-shirts, we're happy to help you. But really, the most important person on this stage tonight is Lisa, and I'd like to introduce you to Gavin's wife, Lisa.